Hey Virgo, this is Michael with your August 2022 reading. I do hope that this finds you well and in good spirits. We are definitely starting off this month with a bit of an earthquake, astrologically speaking. We have Uranus, the North Node, and Mars all coming together in the sign of Taurus. This has actually been kind of occurring since the end of July, coming into this month. And with all of these very catalytic and energizing planets and the North Node, this really could be a very dysregulating time for many people. However, being a fellow Earth sign, this could actually very much be to your benefit. Even though things could be shifting or feeling very sudden or seismic in your life, it's very important that you trust that things are shifting or moving into place where they are meant to be. I do have some cards already on the table, and before we get too far into your reading, Virgo, I just want to thank all of you for your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. It really is with all of your support that I can continue putting out these readings and doing this incredible work. So thank you so much. I do have all of my links in the description box down below if you are looking for a Reiki session or a reading with me. I am warning everyone that my schedule is starting to get a little bit spotty. It's starting to fill up a little bit. So if you are looking to book with me, definitely do that sooner rather than later, just to make sure that you can get in. But anyways, Virgo, I feel like there is this major course correct that is happening for the collective right now, and Uranus joining with the North Node in particular is really part of this realignment. This only happens at once every 15 years, and being in the sign of Taurus for you, this is really affecting your worldview at large. This could be involving things like education or travel or how you view the world kind of in a greater global sense. So there could be some perspective shifts here. There could be some spiritual shifts that come with this as well. So very, very interesting energy. And with justice here on the table, this again makes me feel like things are happening in divine order. Some of you could be in some sort of legal or bureaucratic situation as well, kind of in your mundane life. And I feel like things will go accordingly. I do feel like things will fall in your favor, but ultimately justice is kind of this karmic card. And there is quite a bit of karma that is coming out this month as well, because we have all of these planets moving through the sign of Leo, and it is all opposite Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn entered Aquarius towards the beginning of 2020, right at the start of the pandemic. And in a lot of ways, what I'm already noticing at the end of July is that there is a lot of kind of echoes or resonance from the beginning of this time where you may feel like you have not progressed since that time, or you are seeing how much you have grown. And that's kind of the influence of Saturn. Saturn representing discipline and focus. And Saturn is just about finished in the sign of Aquarius. Saturn will actually be entering your opposite sign, Pisces, in the beginning of next year. And that'll kind of finish it. It's not going to go back into Aquarius for several decades or almost 30 years. So we are really wrapping up some pretty big themes. And I'm thinking we're feeling a lot of this in August in particular as we are in Leo season. There is something very beautiful. However, for you, Virgo, we have Mercury, which is actually signified as the magician here on the table, coming in to your sign. Virgo, this is amazing for you. This is happening on August 4th, and Mercury will be in your sign for most of the month. Mercury is your ruling planet and is actually exalted in your sign. And so there really is this beautiful magnetic energy that you have. And I want you to be very careful with your words and with your intentions. Seeing this magician here, you are a very powerful manifester. And whatever it is that you're speaking into existence, I feel like you will be able to attract, especially with Jupiter going retrograde back into your opposite sign, back into Pisces, towards the end of this year. You really could be seeing some beautiful manifestations around this time. We do also have a new moon right at the end of this month, at the beginning of your season. We have a new moon in Virgo on the 27th. And again, this is a really great time to manifest and to really embrace yourself, to love yourself and accept yourself and create a new relationship or form a new relationship with yourself and the way you relate to the world at large. So really, really big energy here. I feel like you have this manifesting superpower right now. And with the Page of Cups or Daughter of Cups here, this could be a matter of the heart, so this could be a relationship, but I actually feel like this is also you really becoming quite intuitive. And especially as we are in Leo season, Leo represents your 12th house, which is your subconscious, your dream world, your intuition. So with all of this energy moving through the sign of Leo, there really is this very dreamy, creative, and intuitive quality that you have as this Page of Cups, which is why I actually feel like this energy represents you more so than someone else coming into your life, making some sort of romantic or emotional gesture towards you. I feel like you yourself are becoming some sort of intuitive messenger, or you are receiving messages from spirit. And again, I'm feeling like you are just very aligned. It's like you're manifesting the things that are meant for you with Justice and the Magician. And I think Virgos really can be a very powerful manifester. The thing is, though, we have to put in some effort. We have to put in some routine. And while that might not sound like a superpower, while that might sound kind of lame, well, of course, if I put time and energy into something, it's going to manifest, or I'm going to be successful. That's not actually true. And I think Virgos can really take that for granted. A Virgo can master pretty much anything they want to. They can manifest pretty much anything they want to, but they have to want it. And I think your desires are coming into alignment with your manifestations. If you've been trying to manifest something that just hasn't been working, it's almost like the thing you've been manifesting hasn't been aligned with you, with the Justice card. And I feel like Virgo, in this very introspective time in Leo season for you, you are really figuring out, what is it that my heart wants? How can I reconnect with my spirit? And we have the Stingray. And the Stingray is kind of an interesting card because it can sometimes indicate challenges or needing to develop a strong sense of spine. But honestly, the way I really read this card is more about you flowing in life's currents and you riding those waves and swimming with life. I feel like you're just very aligned and very much in flow, especially with Mercury in your sign. But I do want to warn against being too passive, too. Like, you still need to make movements. But a little bit goes a long way, Virgo. Is there any other animal messages? We have the sea serpent. Wow, again, ride the waves. Trust in the divine order. Trust in the order of life and the cycle of life. The sea serpent does represent the sacral chakra, the second chakra, which rules over creativity and pleasure and intimacy. And so there really could be themes regarding relationships. That's very, very possible for some of you. That's really kind of just been thematic this whole year for Virgos, especially if you are a Virgo rising. But yeah, if I were to just take one message from the sea serpent, it's ride the wave, ride the emotions, ride the intuition, ride whatever it is that your heart is telling you. Especially with the Stingray here. Wow, really, really big energies. You could be feeling very emotional this month. Especially with all of this 12th house activation with Leo season. What do we have? Let's kind of look more... Let's take a deeper look. Let's look further into this. We have the Hermit. Virgo, this is your card. I love to see this. We have the Magician, we have the Hermit. There's a lot of you showing up in your reading. And we're specifically looking more at the second half of August and beyond, when we will be stepping into your season, Virgo season, on the 22nd, with the Sun entering your sign. And then again, we have a new moon in your sign as well. And with Uranus stationing retrograde in Taurus towards the end of this month on the 24th, there really could be this epiphany. And maybe this hermit represents a teacher or a guide. But ultimately, regardless of how you're tapping into this energy, this person, the situation, or just the current of life, it is helping you find or reignite this inner light. You're coming back in touch with your inner guidance, your inner wisdom. What else do we have for Virgo for the end of August and beyond? We have the Six of Cups, healing, reconnecting. Very, very beautiful energy. And healing your roots. That feels really, really important to me. And again, if there is some sort of like legal or bureaucratic issue with the Justice card, I do feel this is going to turn pretty favorable for you with the Six of Cups. I feel like some of you are also retreating by the end of the month as well. Maybe you are traveling, but this feels more like a retreat than a vacation, if you catch my drift. There's almost a spiritual bent to it. Wow, and just as I was talking about travel, the Three of Wands, there really could be travel for some of you with all of this Taurus activation this month. But I feel like you see things coming. You see this sort of portal that is opening up for you this month, and you're able to see things quite clearly. And another really interesting thing that's happening towards the middle of this month, Mercury in your sign is trining with Uranus in Taurus. Again, Mercury is very potent. It's exalted in your sign. And Uranus is sometimes considered the higher octave of Mercury. So with these two planets coming together, there's a lot of realization, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of epiphany. And again, this feels spiritual in nature. This could also just be you seeing your life path clearly, especially if you're considering maybe going back to school or figuring out what it is that you want next, what this next chapter in your life is. I feel like you're going to be seeing things very clearly. Even if you're not necessarily moving towards these things right now, there's just this window, there's this opening. You're understanding things. And there could be unexpected opportunities for travel as well for some of you. I just want to put that out there. And if that's something that you want to manifest, well, hey, put that on the list. What else do we have? I just feel very positive for you in this reading. And honestly, Virgo, I'm a Virgo myself. I actually have a Virgo stellium. I have really felt this sort of turbulent energy at the end of this month. There's been a lot that's been coming up, and that's why these videos are actually coming out a bit late. Or later than I had wanted them to. But it feels like things are shifting into place. And we have the Peacock card, which is all about beauty. Especially inner beauty. And having this sort of advanced spirit that sees beauty in everything. And I know that with Peacock, I think there's something called Peacock pose in yoga. I only mention that because I know that this card, in the book it talks about focusing and healing the navel. And we did have sea serpent energy here on the table, which is kind of interesting. We do have Chiron going retrograde in Aries, which for you, Virgo, does represent your 8th house, which could be intimacy, sexuality. It can also be the occult and magic. But if there are some blockages there for you, or creative blockages, I feel like focusing on the sacral chakra will help heal or resolve some of these patterns. Is there anything else we have for Virgo? Any other messages? Any other messages? Show me clearly. So interestingly enough, I'm actually feeling called to pull from the Botanical Oracle. I haven't used this deck yet in these readings. So you're the first one I'm using this deck for this month. I'm going to kind of just shuffle this deck, and I'll actually read it straight from the book. What is the medicine for Virgo? What is the medicine for Virgo? Show us clearly, please. What is the plant for Virgo? What is the botanical wisdom for Virgo? Plantain, nourish. Nourish yourself and really allow yourself to receive. Especially with the Magician, the universe is going to be handing you a lot of things. It's going to be giving you a lot of healing with the Six of Cups here. And with all of this energy in Aquarius, especially in Leo season, there could be a lot of focus on your health. And so taking care of your body comes up with this card too. Let's see what the book has to say. I'm going to kind of skip around here because there is a lot. For those of you who aren't familiar with this deck, the Hedge Witch Field Guide, Botanical Oracle, it gives you both medicinal and folklore properties to the plants. I love this deck, and of course it does give you kind of a divination or oracular meaning as well. Anyways, one of the most abundant and widely distributed medicinal plants in the world is the broadleaf plantain, which can be found almost anywhere. Medicinally, the leaves can be applied to wounds, stings, and sores to facilitate healing and prevent infection. Plantain is an astringent, and tea can be made from the leaves to treat diarrhea and soothe ulcers and gastric distress. Its natural antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties are a remedy for skin problems and any associated itching or pain. Walk outside your front door, and unless you currently live on the moon, you will probably see this plant growing up in gardens, along roads, or poking up through cracks in the sidewalk. For many centuries, this edible plant has been used to cure everything from snake bite to upset stomach. The oracle property nourish is inspired not just by the gift of nourishment this plant offers, but by its sheer availability. Often in life, the things we need are right in front of us if we are just willing to see and accept them. In turn, it is in our power to offer support, time, or resources to those around us, even when we feel uncertain or insecure. The Judgment card connects us with plantain in this way, relating to service, balance, and the give and take of the universe. If you are in need, open your mind to what is immediately around you. Stop to consider what you have to offer the world and how you can nourish others. Very, very interesting. So not only receiving, but also giving is very important with this card, and how you nourish other people. And this feels quite emotional for me, but we do have quite a bit of focus in Libra, especially towards the end of the month when Mercury, your ruling planet, enters Libra on the 25th. So there could be this focus on material resources, and again, trusting in this give and take of the universe, trusting in judgment, kind of this similar message with justice here. Things are in divine order. Trusting in the universe, answering these spiritual callings, answering the calling to be of service. All of this feels very important to you, Virgo. And with Mercury in Libra, again, your needs will be provided for. That's a message I'm getting as well. And to trust in that, especially with Justice card, especially if there are some financial or legal or bureaucratic situations, especially at work. There there might be something happening at work for a lot of you, especially when Mars enters Gemini. That's going to be happening on the 20th. But ultimately, that's giving you a lot of momentum to work and achieve your dreams. And when talking about the resources and opportunities that are available to you, I do think of the Magician again. With all of the elements on the table here, everything you need is already here. And you can manifest things. You just have to look for them. You can create things. You can build things. Anyways, Virgo, those are all the messages I have for you this month. Happy birthday, by the way, to those of you who are a Virgo sun and have a birthday in August or maybe even coming up in September. I'll wish you a happy birthday too. I hope that this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments, as always, how this lands for you, where this is showing up in your life. And if this video doesn't quite resonate, nothing went wrong. These messages just weren't meant for you. You're welcome to check out the videos for your moon or rising sign for additional messages or greater clarity on anything that came up in this reading. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Virgo, and have a very happy and blessed August.